Hello, Taylor.
Hi, Kimia.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thanks. Thank you so much for taking the time today to talk with us.
I'm honored to be here.
Where's mine? Um, Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in science, and your experience at the Faculty of Science.
Yeah. So I entered University of Manitoba a little bit late, so I was a mature student at the time. Beforehand, I didn't really know, what I wanted to do or how to get there. I don't have any like family that went to university, so I didn't really have that guiding light for me. I was like, hey, this is an option. So once I finally got in there, I think I was about 20 when I started. It was kind of hard because again, like I didn't know what I was doing. University is like, it's so intimidating and nobody really tells you that. Everyone's like, oh, just join university. It's such a good experience. And I mean it was, mind you, but it was terrifying. Um, so yeah, I kind of went into the Faculty of Science pretty quick. I took almost every single course within the faculty of like biological sciences. I kind of dabbled in like microbiome, chemistry. So I kind of did like a general degree in the end, which was great though, because I didn't know I had all of these emerging interests. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got here. And it was a long journey, but rewarding.
Rewarding at the end. Tell us a little bit about your experience with Wawatay.
Yeah, it was nothing but a great experience. They kind of helped me just kind of see where I could be in life. And they kind of like just took me under their wing, showed me like um, different things within the faculty of like where I could be and like what I can do. And they gave me like so many different skills that I just really didn't have in me beforehand, like public speaking and like
That's a good one.
different research skills, like within the lab and like how to read like research papers and stuff like that. So it was kind of more of a hands-on experience to science, which I didn't really get beforehand because, every single class is kind of just more of like the technical, how you do it. And you're kind of more involved into the show. So yeah, no, they were amazing. I don't want to be cliche, but it definitely changed my life. I'm so glad that I joined and it's it's been such an amazing experience with them.
This is amazing to hear. I love our Wawatay program and what it provides for Indigenous students. I'm glad
Mhm.
to hear stories like this every single time. No cliche.
Yeah.
So after you graduated, you now have a position at NSERC. This is
Hmm.
pretty amazing. Tell us about that.
It has been great. Definitely not what I expected to happen after graduation. But it was kind of just something. Again, it was with the Wawatay program. So we did this research project that was giving us like the hands-on experience to how to conduct research and expect in the lab. Um, so stuff like that. And so we were working with different fungi, and like our whole goal was to find kind of to find like a new antimicrobial agent, and if we can find it,
Mhm.
do. So throughout the whole thing, like we would have weekly meetings at the Wawatay program, and they're like, okay, how are you doing? How do you think your project's going? And like I feel bad, but I was a little bit like malicious towards myself throughout this whole process. I'm like, no, it's like it's a really good experience, but like I don't think we're gonna find anything. And so like it was a huge surprise to find that we did actually find something. So they gave me the opportunity to go to the Turtle Island Indigenous Science Conference to kind of like talk about my results to this project and stuff like that. So that was probably the first time I've ever talked about it in front of a big group or like spoke about it. So I was so scared. But some representatives from NSERC were at this conference. So they ended up kind of just coming up to me, and they were like talking to the program lead and like the academic advisor about me, and they had like nothing about, like they had nothing but good things to say. So NSERC started emailing me, and they're like, "Are you interested in joining after you graduate?" I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah. And, yeah, so there was like so many meetings leading up to this, and like at first they didn't have like a set job for me, but they're like, yeah, no, we're really interested, like you're a great person, stuff like that. And it was just so heartwarming. I'm like, oh my goodness. They ended up creating a whole new job for me to join. So I'm like, how can I say no to that? So yeah, I joined in November, and it's been pretty good so far.
This is such a heartwarming story. And you know what, Taylor? I actually remember the Turtle Island Indigenous Science Conference. I was working remotely, but I was part of the communications team. So
Okay.
social media promotion, the website, the graphics, I was part of that, and I'm really, really proud of you for doing that.
Oh, thank you. And that's amazing. I've looked at all of those, and like all the graphics and everything were amazing.
Thank you. No, it was an amazing conference, and it was just
Mhm.
such an honor to be part of it. Um, do you want to double down on something you said? Um, you said you took kind of a general path in science, like just pursuing all your interests. I wonder, because so many students, so many people just get obsessed maybe with finding their focus and finding their specialty and just taking courses only in that field. How did like taking different courses and broadening your perspective helped you?
Um, I'm definitely a science nerd. So my brain works in like the whole mechanistic approach. So I can't look at one little piece of something. I have to look at like the whole, let's say, issue as a whole. So if I have a question, I don't have like just one question. I'm like, okay, how did that happen? What about like the smaller aspects of it? Okay, well, how did those all come together and like create like this bigger outcome? And like, so that's kind of why I went into like chemistry, because I'm like, okay, well, I want to see like, the chemical components of what's going on, like let's say in our body or something. And then that kind of even made me more interested. So I took microbiology because I'm like, oh my God, there's so much going on here. So I just couldn't narrow my interests down and to be biology specific. So it kind of, but it's great that you can do these general degrees, because then you can get all that knowledge of like the whole process of events instead of, you can understand how the process goes, but it's amazing like seeing the whole process come together and like just create something amazing.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a great perspective to have, and I hope it inspires more students and more people to just look at all the interests that they have and don't just shut down their curiosity in science, because I think that's all it is about after all. Just following all those little cues and your little curiosities.
Exactly. Science is about like constantly asking questions, and like you just like do anything to find out the answers, but then those bring up more questions. And like, so it's so important to like follow all of that, because then you really get a good understanding about like what you're looking at, like, you know, what you actually like want to see happen and all of that. So I love science.
Me too. It's fascinating. So I do want to also go back to your experience with Wawatay. You said that you learned so many different skills that you wouldn't learn in a formal classroom, maybe. I wonder, now that you've also started your position at NSERC, still mind blowing. I wonder what is like one or two skills that you use the most at your job, that you learn throughout the Wawatay program.
I would definitely say, speaking like this in front of people or like to people beforehand, I kind of just like kept myself. I wasn't a very sociable person. I mean, I was just scared to put myself out there.
Cool.
So now that, I wouldn't say force me, but they kind of like pushed me into that direction. They're like, get out of your zone, just you don't know anything until you try. So that was a big piece of advice that like I took all with me through like ever since. So I mean that was amazing because yeah, I was just a little hermit crab in a little shell before. So that was one big thing. And I would say like the second thing was they really went in depth with like library research and like how to like navigate libraries and like stuff like that, which I didn't know beforehand. I think I was in like the Elizabeth Defoe library a few times, but like I didn't like go there to search for anything. So I don't know how to search. So they brought in a library and they like talked to us about it, and that opened up like so many new avenues, and even like Google Scholar searches and stuff, and like how to find like the right like peer reviewed articles and stuff that aren't like all fake, I guess. So it was very handy in like the whole last year of my scholarly career.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. And I'm so glad you kind of came out of your comfort zone and tried public speaking, because look what that led you to. Yeah, you can never know what happens. And I think it's very important to communicate science, use our voices, and kind of advocate for ourselves and our interest and our research and our work. I'm so, so glad you did that.
Oh, thank you. I know, and I'm also a huge advocate on just trying to get other people interested in science. Like, I mean, not just specifically Indigenous people, but like just anybody, because science can really take you anywhere. And I just think it's such a good faculty to be in. And, we always need new innovations and like new um, questions answered. And it's just a constant thing that I don't think it will ever run out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is very true. I totally agree. And I wonder, as my kind of last question, is if you look back at your 20-year-old self, because you said that's where you kind of started university, what would you tell yourself?
I think all I would have is advice for her. I would definitely like play on to the whole fact of like just get yourself out there. Like don't stay in your comfort zone, because it's not really a comfort zone. It's just, it's very restricting. And nothing really good happens when you're just stuck in that phase of your life. Really the whole part of like my last year of university being the best year ever was because I got out there. I talked to different people. Um, I actually had a voice instead of just sitting in a classroom, just silent, leave, go home. I like became the UMSU's Indigenous student rep, and like I never thought I would ever be able to do that. Public speaking, it's just so many things changed my life. So many little things changed my life in such a big way. And it just all started with you have to get out of that comfort zone. It's hard, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. Ooh, that was some real good advice. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Um, I don't think so. I'm really appreciative of this opportunity, and I really hope that I can inspire other people to join the sciences.
I'm pretty sure you did. I'm pretty sure you did. So much. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.